Market Recognition, presented to you by Brandon Coleman. Here is a little background on the company. I'll let you read this if you want, and if not, you can always return back to slide 2. Here is some of the data collected to bring this all to you. All the data was collected between the month of January 24th, 2019 to January 23rd, 2018. I felt 1 year was a good sweet spot to collect enough data to give you a better understanding of what Under Armour stock is all about. The data I collected was the dates, the PE ratio, the volume, opening price, and closing price. Here are some samples of the data I used. As you can see, I used mean, standard deviation, lower band, and upper band. The reasons why I use that will come evident in the next few slides, but also you'll notice that the first 30 days, everything's blank on that side. And reason being is because I wanted to have a running 30-day of what the mean, the standard deviation, the lower band, and the upper band are. On this side, you'll see some Under Armour historical stock data. This is what the historical data for this Under Armour stock for 1 year looks like. As you can see, they have some level playing fields, some high highs, and a low low at the very beginning. But other than that, the stock is somewhat stable on a lot of up and downs and a few highs and then a low. But that's what to be expected in a volatile market such as Under Armour and sports apparel. Here is actual breakdown of what this historical data is. As you can see, the support and resistance bands at the left of the chart, which represent the support being at $15.90 as the resistance starts at $17.19. I also wanted to point out the high. They made a great leap in November timeframe where the stock went up significantly. Is the stock market directly affected by competitors? Do you think Nike stock affects Under Armour stock? My answer would be yes. Maybe not as direct as one may think, but yes, competitors definitely compete even in the stock market. If one goes down, does that mean the other does bad as well? No. And can they all get along? That question remains to be seen. Just to get put this in perspective, I put 1 year for Nike as well as 1 year for Under Armour stock side by side so you can have a visual comparison. And as you can see, the stocks They both are up and down, and they don't look to have a direct correlation to one another. When talking about direct correlations, this chart are the numbers that you would look for to understand what correlates with what in the stock market. On the left, we have Under Armour. On the right, we have Nike. And for the average and the variance, which are the main points that we want to look at, as you can see, the average return for Under Armour is negative 1.19%. Nike does a lot better, but it's still in the negatives. The variance is another key factor. As you can see, Under Armour variance, they change, but in a positive. Nike's variance has been changing in the negative, but in the slightest. So that's something to definitely keep your eye out for. Now, well tracks in the stock market. What are well tracks? Well, well tracks are the big companies, the hedge funds, the multimillionaires that want to invest and they buy up all the stock. That is a well track. How does it affect the market? Well, they basically control the market. They can buy all the stock and hold it or sell it, which you will see when they do either which way that it'll either increase or decrease the price. And they do it so strategic, they only want a certain profit. So they may sell while the price of the stock only goes up $2 to $3, where that'll be a nice sell for them, but for an average person like yourself or myself, we won't get as much of a return, but that's what you're looking for. Also, what do you do when you notice well tracks? Well, when you see a well track, you definitely want to try to play the game as they play. If you see a well track and you see the potential going up or down, you may want to purchase then. And then once you see they sell, you sell. Like I said, you won't make as much as they do, but if you do that a few times a year, you'll make a decent profit. How to spot well tracks. This is just an example. At the far bottom left, you'll see what well tracks are. The stock is somewhat stable, and then it goes down, which is when they generally have already sold, and then they'll buy back once it's low, and then they'll wash, rinse, and repeat. From what I see, there are no well tracks in the Under Armour stock, so that's just something to note. Next, we have what is my favorite, the Bollinger Bands. Here's a little background history on John Bollinger, the creator of the Bollinger Bands, and I'll leave this slide here for a moment if you want to read. Here is the Under Armour Bollinger Bands that I have created. As you can see, it's a variation of different lines, and trust me, these lines, once you learn how to read them, is so important on how to know when to buy, when to hold, and when to sell your stock. Behind the scenes of the Bollinger Band. This is a small snippet of the data I used to create my Bollinger Band. As you can see, the mean, the lower band, upper band, and the price are all on there, which is also all on my Bollinger Band. The representations of my Bollinger Band. First, we have the upper band, which is represented in gray, followed by the price, which is represented in yellow, then the mean, which is represented in blue, followed by the lower band, which is represented in orange. You will get a better understanding of what those mean in the following slides. Watch it go to work, and by it, I mean my Bollinger Band. As you can see, I took out the lower band and the mean, and we only left the upper band and the price. These are the two pertinent parts to know if you should sell, hold, or buy. As you can see, the upper band is going down while the price is going up. When they get this close to meet, you should definitely sell. Or if you don't have the stock at all, it'll be in your best interest to hold. Now to bring it all together, the support and resistance begins at 1590 to 1719 respectively. There is no evidence of whale tracks, and my Bollinger Band suggests sell. The suggestion box. Sell Under Armour stock if you have it. Hold on buying Under Armour stock if you currently don't have it, and wait to see what the market does once that price meets that upper band. Finally, we have the future of Under Armour stock. I really like Under Armour as a brand, but unfortunately, I do think their stock is going to continue to drop. Their stock hasn't been doing that well, and they just haven't reached out to any new markets to try to increase their stock. So by 2020, I think their stock will be continuing a downward fall. I hope this helps if you want to invest in Under Armour or if you want to sell. Those are my suggestions, as well as some evidence to show you what the stock market is doing in that realm. I hope that helps, and I hope you have a great one. Bye.